Dear past self, I know you're probably sitting alone in a dark room right now, writing a letter to me about how you hope things have gotten better. I remember the things you told me then about our life 2 years ago. You told me about the gray lifeless buildings and how they drained you on your walks to class. You told me about the environment and how the work was too rigorous and too competitive. Peers couldn't bear to say the wrong answers or study less than the next person for fear of seeming stupid and undeserving to take up space in a lecture hall. They wanted to prove themselves. They needed to prove themselves, so they devoted time to it. The girls across the hall would rather study than watch the sunset with you. The boys in the corner would rather work than get food with you. Your roommates would rather stay in with their significant others than study on the glade with you. And no matter how much you tried to prove yourself to, you always fell short. You were either too brown, too dumb, too unattractive, or too weird, it seemed. And no matter how much you could reassure yourself, the facts of your reality always told you you were wrong. The way people treated you reinforced your thoughts that maybe you really weren't enough. And you hated yourself because everyone seemed to want to do anything else than spend time with you. So I understand why you often wrote to me. You felt like you only had yourself. You wrote to me about all the things you wish you could experience and created bucket lists out of irony because you started to lose hope that you would experience anything you hoped to during college. The lists would always start off with major things like performing for a culture night or going on a spontaneous SoCal trip. But as the list went on, it was always the simple things you yearned for. Hiking with friends, watching a sunset with friends, a single late-night drive with friends, stargazing just once with friends, or even just going to a party with friends. But no matter what, you would always end the bucket lists with the same 2 goals. 1, find your people, and 2, be able to say that you love the school that you go to. I'm writing to you now to tell you that it does get better, in ways that you could have never imagined. Things will start to improve from there on out. You start to watch sunsets on your own, hike on your own, stargaze on your own, even explore the town on your own, all because you will learn to love your own company. You will submit an application just before the due date passes. More months will pass and you will get accepted into UC San Diego. Your parents will have learned to support you instead of guilt-shaming you and screaming at you for wanting to choose something they didn't want. You will end up transferring and doing everything you once thought you would never get to do. You will watch the sunset with friends. You will stargaze with friends. You will go to a spontaneous SoCal trip with friends. You will hike with friends and perform for a culture night. You will go to parties with friends. You will find your people, and you will be able to say that you love the school that you go to. So just keep trying. You're doing your best, and just know that you are always enough. Love, your future self.